Hey guys, so as you know, I have this alarm system. It's pretty neat, but the only problem I have is the stuff is all confined to this side of the basement. Over here, there's pretty much nothing, so I've gone ahead and started the process of adding a notification appliance over there. So as you know, I'm not really allowed to destroy the wall. Everything I have mounted is installed on places that already have had holes. So for example, these exit signs, there was already previous wiring there. That emergency light used to have a light fixture. And then those are the only two exceptions. That used to be a junction box spot. So we have surround sound wiring in the wall, but we don't have actual surround sound stuff. I did go put some speakers up for just filler purposes, but I do have this location and I think it would be perfect for a notification appliance. So I've gone ahead and done that. So basically I'm gonna fish wire from this hole to that access point. And then I've also gone ahead and taken apart one of my can lights right here and use that as a temporary access point. I'll put that back later. And then I'm gonna fish to that one and then all the way back to the panel, and then we should be good. So this is the cable I'm using. This is just fire alarm wire. So this is 18.4, so it's 18 gauge, 4 conductors. So you can see in there's 4 wires. It's not that thick, but it's not that thin, and it'll do the job. Also, the more important thing is it has 4 conductors, so I can have 2 for my strobe and then 2 for my audio signal, so like the horns. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull this. Also, while I'm at it, because there's an access point already here, and I already previously had an exit sign there at one point, I think I'm gonna put a smoke detector there just because it's a very short run from this to the other detector, so may as well. Generally, when you pull wire, you can use a wire pulling fish tape or whatever. I have one of those and it's not great, but I have this tent pole, so this is used to hold tents up, and these are actually fantastic for my application because the most important part is that they can fold. So if I want to, I can just collapse it easily, and then I can put it in the ceiling and then open it again. But the main thing is it's really rigid, but it's also flexible, so it can bend around certain things, but it also will hold its shape. So I've just taped the wire to the end over there, and I'm gonna begin pulling it out. All right, wire has been successfully pulled. Now I'm gonna use that tent pole and I'm gonna fish it from that light up here. So I went ahead and fed the tent pole all the way over here. And if you go ahead and look in the ceiling, you can see that I have gone ahead and taped it to the pole. Also, I'd like to mention that at this point from this hole, I'm now running 18.2 for the smoke detector or pull station or whatever is going to be here. Not 18.4 because I really only need 2 conductors for my zone. All right, so this is good. I have the wire here and then I have my wire on either sides. So now I'm just going to go ahead and fish it to that access panel, which is actually pretty short. So for this, I had to use a fish tape because the pole would not fit because there's a bunch of random crap in the way. So I ended up just fishing it because it was more flexible. But anyways, I got that attached. So now all I have to really do is just pull this through carefully, of course, and get back to you. And there it is. So at this point, I can go ahead and terminate the 18.2, but I'm going to continue pushing the 18.4 or fire alarm notification appliance circuit all the way to the panel. All right, at this point, I have the wire at the panel. I always pull a couple extra feet just in case I want to make some modifications down the road on both sides. And now I'm going to wire this to the panel and then staple it. So at this point, I finished wiring the panel. I've left plenty of slack in there, so I think I'm just going to cut it right about there. And all I have to do is just put it through that hole and then install everything and then put everything back, and then I'm done. All right, so I went ahead and put the wire here. It was really easy. I just went up in the ceiling and then dropped it down the wall. This is from the old surround sound system. I labeled it, and I'm just gonna leave that there just in case in the future if we need to reuse that. I went ahead and used a resistor for the audible circuit because I'll be installing the strobe, and now I can just wire up the unit. So at this point, the installation is done. You can see I put a smoke detector here. I closed everything up. So the only thing left to do now is test it. So I kind of wanted to provide some background information on this project. So obviously it's going to look a little bit easier on video because I'm not going to show the several failed attempts at pulling cable. But you really just have to think outside the box. Every application is different. So if you have certain obstacles in the way, you have to be prepared to move around them. Like for example, the tent pole was not the first idea. I actually tried for a long time to use just the fish tape and that didn't work. So you really do have to get creative. Also, by get creative, I don't mean be stupid. Like one of my original ideas was, what if I fished wire through the HVAC ducts, which is really bad. Never do that.
could cause some damage to a lot of different things, and it's just not worth it. There's nothing worth sacrificing for your safety. That should be your number one priority. So at the very least, if you can't do it, just accept it, and don't, destroy anything. Don't do anything permanent that you're going to regret, and just use your common sense and best judgment when you do stuff like this.